Alrighty. How is it going, guys and gals? How are you doing today? You are much appreciated. I'm Johnny with Bologna&Weiners Coding on YouTube, Lone Soldier on Twitch. Appreciate you guys stopping by. How are you doing today? I hopes you having a fine day. I mean that. Let's go. Wake up, chatbot. Hello, chatbot. Wakey, wakey. Must finish up with mod stuff, because, you know, I'm my own mod over here doing modding. Sometimes it works out good or well, and other times not so much. That's okay. I have no issues laughing at myself. What? Yays? These kids are yaying? I guess it's kind of a yay. Thank you so much, young peoples. I appreciate you. Let's go. Okay, what else do I need to do to finish up here? Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna try to... I kind of got into the PC talk a little bit. Maybe, I don't know if you guys are interested. I don't know, maybe that's what I should have been doing all this time. PC just chatting videos. If you steal the idea, you stole it from me. I'm just kidding, guys and gals. Ideas are free. Okay, let's see. Here. Do this, do that. Oh, I guess we'll do that. Why not? Let's go. Hello, program. What's good? There we go. And shout outs quickly to Falabest, Sunco Software. Appreciate you guys. Anybody that's lurking and twerking, you know I appreciate you. Okay, I think one more thing. Oh yeah, it's in the other document. And let's see. I guess we'll go like this. And like this, because I don't know. Hashtags, useful, useless, who knows. And we'll get going here shortly, guys. Okay, I think I'm done. Alright, just to keep chat busy. Chatbot should be doing its job as well, but chatbot's sleeping sometimes. Chatbot is sleeping! And any commands? And did that... Oh, see, that's what I mean. That's my pain. Can't type. Command does and does. All right, let's do this. We'll try to do a serious stream. I guess I should do that once in a while. I mess around, make jokes, guys, just to keep it interesting. Now, whether that helps or not, I don't know. Because I don't know what you guys and gals like. But I know you do like watching, and this is great. Let's go. Okay, where were we? Let's recap here. Where were we? So okay, let's just do this. We'll build. I think I already built it, but we'll do it anyways. Okay, we'll run it. We'll have a little look. Make sure I move it up so you guys and gals can see it just fine. Perfecto. Now, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. It's the only problem with switching between applications and such. You get that. That's even cringe too. Flyouts. Like, I didn't want it, but it happened. Oh joy. So yes, we created a start button. I'm just kind of refreshing my mind where we were, and then we'll continue on. We are writing code, slowly making this program work, utilizing some of the fun stuff they have in creating your own Winforms document. Again, guys and gals, the world is your oyster. You can be the creator. Okay? That is focusing. You can see the cursors there. We really can't do much. None of this really works. I don't have Form 2 yet. We still have to do all that code. Okay? Now, we press start. That should have displayed that. That's where we were. Awesome sauce. Turn it up. Okay, 1 sec. More tea. I get parched from talking. I don't know why. I just do. Not really a talker, apparently. Good times. All right. So where should we go next? We've done that. We've got everything. We have our visual. It's visual. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. We have our labels so that we could display the user entered information. So I think maybe we should jump to that next. What do you think? Let's do that. Okay, displaying information. So that is going to be the code in the display values button. I'm looking through another program here. I still have to do the service controller. I guess it's really no big deal. Helper methods, just looking at the other program, kind of going off. Like, I kind of create and do all this stuff ahead of time. Plus, it's another program I've been working on. And I tend to just kind of follow the outline that I normally go with when creating code, I guess. Order of operations type things, kind of. Everything kind of has to be in order. All right. Button. Cleanup crew. How much have we got on the cleanup crew? We're not doing too bad. Perfect. Nothing in our pick box yet, but you should have that kind of code if you have any pick boxes. Clean things up. All right, and the service controller status, we could add that in. We haven't really done much to it yet, but we'll add it in above our test labels and right here. There we go. And so that's gonna just say that anyways. Let's have a look. It's gonna say that anyways. I don't know why I even do that, to be honest. The reset, right, goes back to, right, okay, all right. Get with the program, Johnny. Get with the program. We're in the reset. Okay, let's see. Oh, did I put the pick box after the test labels? pick box, image. I guess it doesn't really matter where you put it. It all needs to be done otherwise. But I had this over here above this in my code. There we go. Okay, and now we're getting to our events. We have our start button done. All we've done with the start button is the mouse hover and mouse click. You have to bear with me, guys, right? Because I actually create other programs too while I'm doing this in between. So I have to kind of, it's like you're jumping from one program to another. So in a sense, I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around what's going on as we do this. Reset controls done. Okay, that's all good. So, but now we want to get to display values. Okay, that's where we want to get to. Display values is where we are at. Okay, let's do that. Let's do our flat button. Okay, get some work done. Now, first thing, like usual, everything's kind of repetitive. Repetition. Again, each button you can kind of customize it and have do different things. They don't all necessarily have to have the same events, right? So, for all intents and purposes, I'm kind of showing you, some of the ones that I do to help get you started. That's kind of the goal. All right, again, I was in the properties, okay, button here. We're in the properties window. There's a little icon here that's called properties. We want to go to events, and then we need a mouse click event. Again, we could do that, might as well. This is our first flat button, so I'm going to do all of the typical ones that we do. So let's do mouse hover, and I'm going to do them all at the same time here. Make sure my typing is good and continue. I'm just going to leave it there and then I'll move it after. Okay, and then let's go to mouse leave underscore mouse leave. Because, you don't want any mice in your house, right? Right, guys? Gals? Who wants mice in their house? Let's go. Welcome, viewer. Appreciate you. You are so awesome. I'm going to do this for you. Whoops. Bear with me with the switching between applications. Okay, back on track. Mouse leave, and then we're gonna do mouse the enabled changed. We'll do that as well, whether it's necessary or not. I mean, enabled changed. You can customize it to however you like. Now, why it would be application restart? What you thinking, program? What are you thinking? That's okay. The software, when Visual Studio, I love it. It's great. Super awesome application. It will give you recommendations. You just have to be smarter and more intelligent than the recommendations are. I mean, the suggestions are nice. Okay, last one, the mouse click. Mouse click. Again, always do these in your events. If you make any typos, always come back to events and correct your typos. Okay, the reason, now I could, you don't have much control where the event is placed within your code behind. Okay, guys and gals? Again, I like organization. I like to have things in a certain place. Okay, my logic is, well, these buttons will come first. It's kind of like, these are the buttons the user is going to click first. Therefore, I want them at the top of my code in my events area. Make sense? These ones over here are kind of the last buttons. So I put them at the bottom of my events code. Okay, makes sense? That's my logic. Again, your program, you choose however you want to organize your code. That's up to you. But commonly, if you do C++ language, you usually have your fields, and then you'll have constructors, and then you'll have helper methods or helper functions, and then so on. There's kind of an order to the madness. Well, is it madness or goodness? I think it's actually goodness. Okay. Now, I am going to cut these out. Be careful which ones you cut and highlight. We're working on the flat button, so I'm going to go back highlighting, Control X. This is, it placed it above my exit program. I don't want it there. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the top of my events. Here's the top of my events, okay? And place it here. Okay? Mind you, start program's going to be clicked first. It's true, that's true, that's true. But the code will go to wherever the name of the method, it jumps around, right? The code doesn't go, well, it does go line by line in the sense, in the main and whatever, but you just got to have an understanding. Code will go line by line, but then when it gets to where a function or a method is called, it'll jump to that function and or method, okay? And then it returns back to the last point that it was at in code. All right. Now that's kind of C++ theory. Well, I don't know, is theory the word? It's just common knowledge with C++. That's the way it works. Again, we're pressing buttons here, so I mean, my logic, your logic, just roll with it, right? Okay. Back on track. Here is the code for our flat buttons. Mouse hover. Going back to here. Make certain you select the correct button. Go to properties. Back to properties. Properties. And then select the name of your button, because that is what you use in code. There we go. Again, like I said before, guys and gals, I like to copy and paste. I'll copy either from WordPad, my backed up WordPad, or straight from another program. Okay? And I do this so that I know that it's a good reminder for me to make sure, because it's easy to copy and paste code within code, right? But let's say I copied this from the start program, okay? And here it all looks good, right? So your mind is kind of tricked. Your mind is thinking it's all good. But if you look, the properties for our display button are actually based on the form button, okay? Or form start button, which is incorrect, okay? So I'll do this. I like the squiggly lines because it's a reminder for me, hey Bob, you gotta make sure you put the correct name for your code, okay? it's right here, so I could just double left click or double tap, Control V, double tap, Control V. Sounds like a tongue twister I want to avoid. All right, enable changed. Again, I've already typed all this code, right? Why retype it all? Okay, I could easily change it and modify it and do whatever I need to anytime. Okay, and again, all I need to do is just double tap, Control C, double tap, Control V, and so on. That quick. And you could also double check right here to see if you're using the correct name for the correct button. Again, the name is what you use in code. Okay? Down here, the text is just a visual text for the button. Okay? Alrighty, let's go. And so now we're at the point, so this is just for effects for a button when we hover. So we've got some code right now. So I could build it. Good, all right, perfect. Now if I go here, oh right, I have to press first as well. Press this first as well, the start button. Now this is a new concept I kind of just threw in. If you've been watching the series, hopefully you have. So what I want to happen is I want a message box to pop up so that the user is prompted. Because let's just pretend that the user is unfamiliar with the program. Okay? Always assume that they're new to it. So you got to help them along, right? So the user's like, well, what do I do? So other programs I've done and or written or made, I sometimes will have a combo box, which is a pull down, right? And in that combo box code is where I'll have the message box pop up. But in this case, I don't have a combo box, and I don't want to load the program and have a message box just pop up in the user's face, right? Again, when I ran it before, it did the message box first before the actual application. Well, that just seemed quite backwards, right? Not the normal, right? It's not something you normally do. So I did a workaround. The start button is kind of a workaround. And the user could go, oh, I have to click start. Perfect. There we go. So we got a nice... So what happened there is this is modal. Modal meaning I have to do something with this before I can click behind. That's what modal means. Okay, user, please enter your first value for X. And then all you have to do is go, oh, okay. And then enter your first value, whatever that be. Of course, it has to be, does it have to be an integer? Just thinking of this. Commonly it is, but again, the coordinate system, bringing my math mind up now. For the most part, logically, I mean, if you're just learning math and that, you're working with whole numbers, but eventually, realistically, you're working with decimal values, right? So you can also input decimal values. This is why I'm going to use double in the code. Okay, double is a data type. Again, you have to have a coding understanding to know this. Okay, I recommend you got to learn to code a little bit. You don't have to have full knowledge of coding, I guess. I don't know, it would help to create programs, right? And then you'll know what to do. Here to help. Okay, so look, there we go. Okay, And I love this. The flat buttons have a nice effect. They get this blue background as well, which I love. All right, we haven't done much. I just wanted to show that and share it with you. Trying to be a little more kind of get to work today, right? A little more serious. Again, it's Monday vibes. All right. So we'll type some code. Now I have, let's do it, set it up so we can actually enter values now. So I have these private fields, private double. I'm using doubles like I said, right? Because you can enter decimal values. User X1, user Y1, user X2, and user Y2. Okay, that's what those are for. Whatever values that the user enters in each of these text boxes is going to be, with the code behind, it's going to be converted and stored into the variable. All right. Without getting too technical and too logical or whatever, just going to kind of keep it, general here. All right. Note, local variable declaration can be inlined, and which is true. That's what we did. If you hear the term inlined, in this sense, these are global actually. These will be global variables right here. And you can also make them inlined. That's what inlined means, okay? So not inlined means, well, I would be just recreating this 4 times, right? For each variable. Okay? And I'll just redo that. I'll leave that there just as notes for you guys and gals. Local variables essentially are variables that are inside a block of code. All right? I'm trying not to get too... I'm trying to... well, I got to kind of control myself here because I'll tend to kind of go off on a tangent and then I'll start talking about coding when I'm trying to teach you guys, what to do with Winforms. I'll give you some general knowledge, try to help. But again, this isn't really a C# coding tutorial per se. But again, I don't mind sharing the knowledge. Again, I have C++ tutorial or series on Bologna&Weiners space coding on YouTube. All right, if you would like to check that out. All right, and again, if you can code in C++, you can code any other language. I love C#. C# as well. I also, in my mind, think it's the I don't want to use the word superior language, but I guess that's kind of my way of thinking. All other languages to me are kindergarten languages. Kindergarten. My point is if you can get C++, you can get any other language. That's my point. All right. So with C#, bool is a data type. Bool is a true or false, keeping it simple. I'm going to call it parse because we're parsing here. We're going to take the actual value and kind of convert it and store it into the variable. All right. But in this case, let's see, hold up. What am I doing here in my code? Oh, okay, yeah, I see what I did. Okay, so there's two ways of doing this. Okay, here we go. We're doing the now I know what the message here means by inline. So here I would be creating except my variable names are going to be different. That's from a different program. Right here. Going back to here, I would be doing this. Except I wouldn't be putting M, which I could, but it's not necessary. It's kind of a C++ thing I carried through here. So Y1, and then this is going to be X2 and Y2. Okay, these would be my, whoops. What am I doing, Bob? What's it saying to me? Remove unused. These errors. I'm like, what? Hang on. Okay. So we're going to parse. I don't know what to call it. I need another variable. I'm going to call it parse. I guess I'll just use the same thing. User. Again, variables is kind of one of those things where it's harder to come up with variable names than it is to do the coding. It's kind of wild, but yeah, you could kind of waste a bit of time just trying to think of a good, decent variable name for code. So it's wild, but if you could find and figure something out quickly on the fly, it'll definitely save you a lot of time. Try parse. Okay, this is a C#. It's a method, built-in method. And we need our text box, right? Because it's going to parse whatever. Again, look at this. Our try parse built-in method that the fine devs have created for us to make our lives easier and simpler. Otherwise, you would have to create this yourself, the code and the method, right? But it's done for us. Okay? It takes a string, out double result. Okay? So, if you're uncertain what the method does, it actually tells you. Okay? It gives you hints. So what we need is our first text box. I'm going through this I don't want to go through it quickly. Now, I'm not saying you guys anything negative, right? I want you to understand this. So I'm going to kind of go through it a little bit, not so quickly. And a lot of people would appreciate that, I'm sure. So there we go. That is the name of our text box. We're using it in code, except that's the name, but we need to access. What are we accessing? The text that's in that text box. And then we're going to out. And again, here I've already declared it, but that's why I commented it out, because we could do an inline. Okay? And it's going to say out. Here's where I'm going to declare the variable or data type. And then I'm going to obviously use user x1. Okay? I'm doing two functions here. Why am I getting these? No. I like it like this. Okay? All right. That's our first line. This is a true-false scenario. Zeros and ones. It's either on or off, like a light switch. It's the way I look at it. Okay? What else is this saying here? I just want to see. Discarding. These are all kind of new. I don't know. I like typing the code. I like seeing it. I don't like kind of shortcutting it. One thing that drives me crazy reading other people's code is when they var things. It drives me crazy. Var. I don't know. That just, it's, I don't know. To me, it's almost like you're using var because you don't know what you actually are supposed to type. I like to see what you're supposed to type. I want to know. All right, so now we're going to do an if block. We'll do one at a time here. If we're using our if true, okay? Again, inside these type of if blocks, you're using always double. Okay, it's not an equal. Does it equal to that? No, it's equal to false. Okay, if this is equal to false, again, this is a bool data type. False is 0, true is 1. Zeros, ones, baby. Zeros and ones. Then we're going to do a message box dot show. It's a method. And then to save time, I'm going to, what am I going to do? Please enter, right? This is in case it's empty, right? So I'm going to go like this. Please enter in a valid X. That's the problem with subscripts, right? It's like, can we carry on with subscripts? Maybe. Or I could just go 1, but it doesn't look right. You can't use it as a coefficient. So we'll see if we could display it as a subscript. Kind of, it's not really cheating, but the website, if you've been following along and seen the website where I got the subscript from, it's not really cheating, but you get this subscript. Again, I think it works because it's inside quotations. I think that's why I could get away with doing this. In regular code, you can't. Regular code meaning outside, anything that's non-quotational is what I kind of mean. Okay, and then we're going to go comma. I'll speed this up. And we're going to do double quotes again. Double quotes is like you're displaying, you want to display information to the user, right? And then once I do this, then I'll just kind of copy and paste to speed things up, all right? Message box buttons, that's what I want right there. What type of button do we want to use, right? Retry, cancel, there's a few here, right? They're all built-ins. So we'll just use that. I'm just showing you guys and gals that, you know, it's there, something you can do. Okay. And it's getting lengthy here, that's why. I could enter, you can do that sort of stuff as well. Whoops. So right, my mouse needs to be in the right spot here, comma. So I could enter right here and two-line it. Again, the program will read it line by line. Hitting enter, there's going to be no effect, okay? I'm doing this so that you can see it. Otherwise, the code would go right through here, behind my properties. And I want you to see it. Okay, message box icon. I really can't type. Message box icon. What icon do we want to use? Dots. We're going to use error. Okay, and that's it. So let me show you here. So if I backspace this and one line it, you'll see it's hidden behind here, right? Now you can't read it, so you don't know what's happening, right? not trying to hide anything. I want you to see it. All right, there we go. So again, this is if there's no information, right? And then we're going to take the actual text box, which is this one here. Okay. I'm just going to double tap that to get the name. And then dot to access. We need to access. So what do I want to do in the text box? Well, I know there's nothing in it. It seems kind of redundant, but I want to show you guys and gals the different methods, the different built-in methods that you can use. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. Clears the text box, right? Not that there's anything in there again, but again, you need to see the code so that you can learn the code and what to type. And then we want to focus on it. Focus means, well, it'll take the actual cursor, put it in the box, and flash it. Like you'll see the cursor flashing, okay? And then I'm just going to go like this. And like this. Giving you some notes here so you understand what's happening line by line. All right? No secrets. Okay, that's the first one. So we have to do that for each box. Okay? Again, the goal is, now, hang on here. We're going to store it, but then I have to play, yeah, there it is, okay? My mind's already thinking ahead of the game here. So you guys are wondering if, okay, global and local, right? I'll try to help you to understand. I've created global variables. Global variables, I want to be able to use that variable globally in the code, okay? Anywhere throughout the code, okay? That's kind of what global means. And I'll just briefly kind of give you a lesson on global and local. Here is a local variable, okay? So you understand, as soon as the code gets to this curly bracket, that's it. It's outside that block of code now. So any local variables belong to the inside of this method, okay? So outside of the rest of the code, it doesn't see it. The program can't see it because the local variable is only for the method inside, okay? It's only for the method inside, all right? But now I have this thing I call batoning. You know how people like track and field, people are running and they do baton running and they pass the baton. They're running behind each other. Here, take the baton. It's your turn. Keep running. You know, you get me? You feel me? That's the kind of way I look at it, right? So I want to pass that information so I could use it globally. And that's why I have these. These are so I could pass the information around globally. It's kind of like my little trick. I call it batoning, because why not? You'll see in the code here shortly what I mean. The actual display user drop, it gets a little lengthy. Now I guess I could build and create little helper methods, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you everything inside of this one button. The button's going to do a lot of work. Okay, it's going to be busy. So I'm going to copy this, like I said, just to speed things up. So now we're going to do Y1. Okay, I have to change the name. Now, the thing about copy and paste, guys and gals, you have to just slow down a little bit so you don't mess things up. Make sure you're using the correct text box. Double tap that. Again, once you have it typed once, it's repetitive. Okay, so this is going to be Y1. And then here's going to say Y1 as well. Okay? There's conflictions, right? We're still inside this block, inside the method, we're still inside the block of code, right? So it can still see it, it knows it exists, right? That's why there's still an error. Just hold up. See? It says a local variable or function named, it's already defined in this scope. That's what it means. Inside this scope, you have to have an understanding of what scope is. All right, it's key. And then you can build programs because you understand. This is the part where you're learning how to think like a computer, guys. Okay? Next level brain. A lot of people out there think they're intelligent and smart, but they cannot think like a computer yet. I gotta control myself, guys. I do. I'm a calculus major when I was in college, and being able to do this and that, it's just like, I don't know, a lot of people think they're intelligent because, you know, they can spell car, they know what a car looks like, they know that cars have doors. Because they know what a car is, they think they're intelligent. Well, they don't know everything about cars, okay? Just because you know of a car doesn't mean you know everything. Doesn't make you an intellect. Anyways, I got a sheddy Eddie. I grew up in the era of we are used to hurting each other's feelings. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Alrighty, let's carry on. I'm going to continue being nice again. Okay, I want this. So this is Y1. Okay, focus. This is going to be Y1. Okay, good. All right. I guess I could go Y1 here as well. I don't really need to do this again. You get the idea. We don't need to keep copying that. It's redundant. Please enter a value of Y1. This is all going to be consistent. That's fine. Y1, try parse Y1. Okay, that's Y1. And this is not Y1. Okay, it sees it here, right? It thinks it's correct, but it's not. Okay, this belongs together. So see how easy you can make mistakes? And that's why code, you can have bugs in code, guys and gals. It's something as simple as that, right? Look at this, okay? Will you look at that? 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 In case you don't know or understand, that's my look at that guy sarcasm, okay? I kind of like doing that. It's funny for me. So this is easy to miss, right? So somebody going through your code and reading your code and they're trying to debug your code and figure out, where'd you derp, bro? Where did you derp? That's why copying and pasting is kind of, it's kind of frowned upon a little bit, I guess. Again, I'm not promoting it. You just have to really be aware, right? You can copy and paste, but it's easy to overlook something and make mistakes. And again, this is all local. It's inside this method or block of code. It doesn't see anything wrong with it because it's actually declared, right? It's a thing. It's a thing in the block of code. The program doesn't know if you want to use X1 or Y1. It doesn't know. What it does know is that it exists. It's a thing. So there's nothing wrong with it according to the code. But you got to be smarter than the code and see the mistake. Okay? There we go. We want it to use this. All right? That's why I went over that. I'm trying to help you guys I'm trying to help you understand little things that you need to be aware of, okay? You kind of have to do your own debugging. Right? You got to become a debugger. Okay, so now I want to go here. And going through things quickly too, it's easy to make mistakes. And it's a lot harder, more challenging for me because I'm doing this live and it's a little more challenging to focus on everything. So, okay. X2, yes. And I want this to say X2. And I also want to make sure certain that I update all my text boxes. Okay, this is all the code or the block of code for that particular text box, which is X2. Okay? Again, the code's all repetitive. You just got to make certain that you're using the proper variable and or name. All right? Tips and Tricks by Johnny with Bologna&Weiners Coding. Remember, guys and gals, I don't ask for money. I just remind you that sharing is caring. Also, your views help as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, double check. X2, yes, yes, yes. Again, it's easier to do this when you're working alone and you can focus a little bit better. X2, yeah, X2, use your X2, okay. Yeah, I'm just ignoring this, I'm just ignoring it. I guess it's something with C++, C#. It's not something I like doing. I'm not a fan of it. I like to know what's there and what's happening. I like to see the variables. I want to know what it's doing and where it's going. It's all part of the code readability. Okay, and this should say X2. That's what we want, X2. So I'm going to go here, and again, it's not cheating. I'm just copying and pasting it because I already have it. I have it, and all I have to do is just copy it and paste it. That's it. Okay, there we go. And again, I don't know, how do I say this? Visual Studio is probably not just Visual Studio. Any IDE might do the same thing, okay? It doesn't like subscripts, okay? It's not part of coding language, right? It doesn't, the computer or the processor doesn't know what it is. Again, it knows what it is through ASCII, but in code, it doesn't know what it is. So if I try to use, what I mean is, if I try to use X2 in code, or even just the 2, it doesn't know what it is, okay? It's an unexpected character. I can get away with it inside quotations because it's a string literal. Okay, this is kind of coding jargon lingo stuff, guys. Right? Again, if you're learning coding, you'll learn this sort of stuff. All coders can talk the lingo. When you say certain words, they'll know what you're talking about. Okay? Now, I'm not saying I'm a master coder myself. Guarantee there's better coders out there than me. I'll guarantee it. Okay? I'm not going to toot my horn and say I'm the best, because I'm definitely not saying that. I do this for fun. This is fun for me. All right, how are we doing for time? We're getting up there in time. Oh boy, guys and gals, time flies when you're having fun. That's okay. We'll get this finished up and then we'll continue in the next video. Again, I appreciate you learning along. I'm doing more than just copying and pasting code, trying to look like I'm a real coder. I'm actually explaining it, going over it, and giving you tips, tricks, and advice. Alrighty then. X2 and X2, X2. All right, that looks good. Let's do the last one. Oh, okay, hang on, double check. X1, Y1, X2, okay, we're good. Whoops, don't do that. I just finished telling you guys not to. This is going to be Y2. And again, make certain that you're accessing the information from the correct text box. Double tap, and double tap. I could easily put Y2, but whatever, that's fine. Change that to Y. Again, it's local, so there's conflictions. That's what's called it. That would be a confliction, okay, in your code. You couldn't run it because you have a not a runtime error, a compile time error. Okay, no conflicting variables, Bob. All right, double check. So Y2, and again, check this stuff. Make sure it's utilizing the correct variable for our bool. Okay. Again, the reason why I talked about this is people that are reading through your code, if I didn't explain, they're going to miss this. They're going to bypass it because the program's not telling them it's an error, right? So as a human, you have to find it. And it's as simple as a simple typo. A simple typo, guys and gals, right? There's nothing wrong with the code. The code will still run. It won't break. Because it's a variable, it exists. And again, this is kind of it's local, but it can be used kind of globally within the method itself, if that makes sense. Okay, it's not on an overall global scale, it's still local to the method, and the program is going to see it as not an error because it exists within the code, within the block of code. All right, I'm going to undo that. So double check. Okay, X1, okay, Y1. These ones are key, right? Because you will have errors. You'll be like, what did I do? And you'll be pulling your hair. And I don't want you guys and gals to do that, all right? Okay, so that's all the code for each text box. So when a user enters a value, a numeric value, it's going to be converted and stored. Essentially, it's going to be stored into this local variable. All right? And then I got to baton that information so that I could use it throughout my code, throughout the rest of my code, or outside. I want to be able to use it in other methods or in other events. Okay, I could do something silly like display the user data, because why not? And then what I'm going to do is I want to string that text, right? This is where it kind of gets batoned. So here it's parsing the information to this variable, okay? But we got to convert it from a text value to a string value. All right. So, label. Yes, this is where we're going to parse it to a label. Not parse it. Display it. Okay. And we have to take that, because it's, remember, guys, just take note, guys and gals, the user is entering a numerical value, right? I know there's ASCII table code and all that stuff going on, but it has to still be turned to text, right? Right? From a number to text, if that makes sense. Essentially, that's what's happening. So now I want to display it here, okay, using this label. So make certain I grab the actual label I want. I'm going to paste it. Take the text that's in that. No. Silly me. I want to say this correctly. I'm saying it kind of backwards here. Let me finish the code first. Okay. Go up here. We have this variable now, okay? It's now inside. So the value that's in the text box gets parsed to this variable. Control C. I did promise that I wouldn't get into the coding jargon, but I feel like maybe I should explain it a little bit so you guys understand. I don't think any other channels do that. I don't understand why I'm not more popular. I don't know. Maybe it's just myself personally people don't like. I don't know. My voice, I don't know. But I still get up regardless if people try to knock me down. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so that's what's happening here. So let me get back on track. Get sidetracked easy. So again, code, whatever's on the right hand side gets passed into the left hand side. That's how coding works. Okay, right hand side equals left hand side. Okay, you have to have that understanding. And we have this variable which is taken, it's already storing that value from the text box, and now we're going to convert it to a string and pass it in. We're going to print it. This is essentially being printed. This is what's happening right here. This is a print. So we're going to print it to that label. Okay, the text, because the label can only print text. Okay, that makes sense? I hope so. I'm trying to explain it kind of like to the best of my knowledge, right? Without being over technical. Okay? All right. So we got to continue. I'm going to try to finish up. I meant to keep these videos at an hour. That's kind of the goal. But again, trying to explain things and going through the code a little bit line by line and not so quickly. All right. So we have to do the same thing for each one. Okay. So let's go to the second one. Just so that I don't derp or make any mistakes, I'll go back, copy it. I'm saying I'm going to the next one. Okay, and look at that. The program even knows which one to select, which is beautiful. You can double check and have a look. Yes, it's Y1. It's Y1. Yes, user Y1. Okay, good job. That's a recommendation. That was a W. Okay, that was a W from the program. It sees the pattern, okay? And same thing. Again, it is kind of a pattern. Dot text. And this time we're going to X2. Correct. Beautiful. And let's do the last one. Whoops, not there. Right here. I hope you're getting the idea. This is passing the information back visually to the user on the screen onto the GUI system, okay? And here we go, dot text, and the last one. So we should have X1, Y1, X2, Y2. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. All right, beautiful. Now, this is the point, it's kind of where my C++ brain always wants to clean stuff up. That's why I've even created classes that does all that work for you in C++. But this is C#. It's same but different. And my brain wants to do cleanup. And because I want to get rid of all this local information, I want to kind of zero things out. Or technically, I'm not really zeroing anything out. And I'm not nulling the memory blocks, right? Again, I'm thinking at the computer level in regards to memory. Big brain going on up here. A lot going on. So that's what I like to tend to think. I want to do the memory cleanup because, I don't know, I'm just kind of OCD that way. I want to clean things up. I want to do it the right way. Okay? I don't want to do it the DEI way. Again, comments like that is probably why I have no friends and I'm all alone and poor. Yay! What do you kids mean, yay? Okay, right here. There we go. Garbage collector. That's a great thing, again, in regards to C#. It's a garbage collector. So, which is perfect. Now that eases my mind. I'm like, oh, great. Phew! I don't have to do all that housekeeping now. I'm so tired of doing all that housekeeping. Whoo! Thank you, C#. Okay, I'm having fun today, guys. So, but here's the batoning part, right? Now I want to, again, local and global. You have to, again, this is all part of coding and understanding the difference between what's happening with local variables and global variables. I want to baton that information. I bring it up. I call it batoning, right? It should be actual term, not a turn. What's up, Bob? I'm coining the term here, Johnny with Bologna&Weiners coding. I call it batoning. And let me show you what I mean. So take my global variables, and where are we working here? Right here, yes. There we go. Paste. And I'm gonna pass that information in. Again, whatever's on the right-hand side gets passed to the left-hand side. Just always remember that, guys and gals. Whatever's on the right-hand side always gets passed to the left-hand side. So this is the batoning. Batoning. Apologies for my delays in kind of getting that out. Again, I'm my own mod here, so okay. And then I'm going to copy that global. Make sure you don't accidentally look at that. The program knows what's up, and I'll double check still. And we're here. Go again. The reasoning is, guys and gals, is I want to pass that information and use it for calculations in my other code, in other blocks or other methods. This is the reason why I am batoning. Okay. And some notes for you, right? Because I'm being awesome and sharing my knowledge, right? It's too bad, it's too bad. I wish there's, more appreciation for, I'm trying to stay positive here, guys. I really am. It's a lot of work and time. Again, sharing some good, vast knowledge here. I've had to have a lot of fails. Fails help you learn. right? Fails help you grow. And I've gone through some programming bugs and fixes of, learning to debug my own code. I don't use a debugger. I figure it out, right? On my own. Big brain. Okay, so let's finish up. This is some secret tips and tricks for those that are watching, getting some good stuff. And then we're going to test it, and then we got to end this stream. Okay, so now the buttons. So this one, so the start should turn this on, right? Excuse me. The start, where's our start code here? I went right past it, didn't I? See? Button displayed, enabled true, right? So as soon as I mouse click, it's going to turn the display, it's going to turn this one on. Okay? All right, so now, as soon as the user presses display values, I want to turn it off. Okay? Essentially, I'm locking it, right? Essentially. So what's the next thing to do? We want to turn the next button on, right? You see the pattern? The next thing I want to do is turn this one on. This is a little shorter now because I was trying to share with you there. And there we go. Okay? Dot enabled. You get the idea, right? This time it's true. Okay? Boom shakalaka, yeah. Okay, so there's the code for our display user button. Yes, there's a little bit of code there. I agree. Again, you're growing and getting better. You really are. I believe in every single one of you. All right? I just wish everybody believed in me more. Don't worry, guys. I'm fine. Okay? I could deal. There we go. Let's test it out. Let's see if I actually know what I'm actually doing. Let's find out. Let's go to the form designer. And we're going to run it. Let's run it. Let's test it out. Again, the smartest thing to do, guys and gals, again, more tips and tricks. Do little bit. Okay, don't build a whole program and expect it to work. You got to do testing while you're building your program. Always do that. Test your code. I also will do things like I'll have like testing labels. I'll put them in here to display values from my helper methods. I do a lot of things to help with the testing. Always do that. Okay, so let's enter some values. 2 tab, 3 tab, 4 tab, 5. Let's test it out. Oh, I've already got them entered. Is it going to clear it? I'm probably ahead of myself here. Let's see. Okay, because this is not displayed. What is my program doing here right now? Hang on. Why is the cursor hand doing that? Okay, let's do that again. Start here. It was a little broken. That's why I exited it. Something weird was going on. Okay. User, please enter your first value for X. Oh, okay. Thanks. See, there we go. That's on now. Perfect. Shows it, displays it as a different color. I should have maybe, I don't know. That works. It's good enough. Okay, 2, tab, 3, tab, 4, tab, 5. Okay. The start button, it should go off as soon as I hit this. I hope so. Did I set it up that way? I don't know. I'll find out. So the idea here is All these values that I entered in the text box, these are actual numeric values. Now we're going to toString them to text. We're going to display them as text here. That's what labels do, guys and gals. Displays only text. All right, let's check it out. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! That's right, I forgot to put it up there. But you can see that it works. Right on, let's go, turn it up. Much love, guys and gals. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Johnny. I will continue doing this. Those of you that are interested, you know I love the fact that you're watching the content and appreciate me for what I do, and you're here as well. I'm getting all what's the term? My feels. I'm getting all warm and cuddly here, guys. Lurker and twerker, you know I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, stopping by. I'm Johnny. I'll see you guys and gals in the next video. Hope you're having a blessed day. Appreciate you. Take care for now. And peace.